All right, it appears that we're going to take a little bit of setup tonight backstage to get ready for this, so I have something prepared just for such occasions as this. Have a special little story while we're waiting for the weird guys. Now, this story involves a contest, so folks, you're going to have to listen very carefully to the words of this story, because this story is about you. It's about a whole bunch of you. Your names are in this story. So while I read this story, you listen to see how many names of people in this group you hear me say. And some of them are kind of camouflaged, so you have to listen really, really close. Okay? Ready? Now, be ready to count them. You might want to write this down somewhere because there are going to be a lot of names. They're going to be flying by pretty fast. Okay? Listen, because we have a prize over here for the person who hears the most names. It was just before dawn, as I was strolling through the misty forest looking for a loganberry patch, when I met a manly young lad with rosy cheeks wading through some fields of heather. His long, curly locks of blonde hair made me think he was a Dane, but later I learned he was a Scot. At first, I mistook him for a tailor, for he was stunningly arrayed in blue jeans, a rich terry cloth dicky, and a Victorian sandy-colored boots. But then I noticed a rather unattractive Levi checker pattern on the seat of his pants, which immediately ruled that out. Then I decided he must be a hunter, for I saw him aiming his slingshot at a white heron. But alas, he missed. Then I thought he must be a soldier of great valor, even fearlessness, when he spied a jaybird and drew his sword, slashing wildly at the tiny creature. But all he managed to do was to nick himself in the leg. Then, when he stopped to admire a small patch of flowers, I realized that surely he must be a gardener. And much to my surprise, he plucked one of the blossoms and proceeded to devour its petals, which must have contained some sort of narcotic substance, because he began jumping and dancing and caroling like a randy young buck. At that point, I'd seen quite enough, so I knocked him down into some tall reeds and I shouted, "Hey guy, let me be frank. Do you want to make yourself sick? You just ate a psychedelic posy." The boy was quite worked up, and he sat there fanning himself to cool off. And he began to tell me the most fascinating tale. That's halfway through the story, and I'll save the rest for a little bit later. I hope you caught some of those names. Now, let me check and see if they're ready backstage. We love you, Dave. Okay, I guess I better finish the story. Hope you got a lot of names out of the first part of that story. So where we left off in the story, the boy was about to begin telling me the most fantastic tale. He said that he came there as the sun set and the light began to wane, hoping to rendezvous with his secret love. She was a dyslexic Brazilian girl who carried a small gourd under her arm, which she would ring like a bell. As he was telling me this, he pulled a mandolin from a bag and started to play a melody. I think it was France's national anthem. But as he strummed, an entire colony of insects, tons of them, came scrambling out of the instrument. I grabbed it out of his hands just in time. A fraction of a second later, and they would have devoured him. Now, bugs are the main thing that I truly abhor. Ah! Okay, you try to work Horak into a story. And then we both turned our heads as we heard a ringing sound. Could it be her? No, it was a man on the other side of the river, pounding his hammer on an anvil. The young boy began to chuck rocks over the bridge at him. "What are you doing?" I shouted. "It's a smith! It's a blacksmith!" I know, it was a stretch. Well, all I can say is that the boy thought I had insulted his girl, so he picked up a cane and vowed to defend her. The dude was mad enough to birth a calf right then and there. I got hold of him by the throat, and I threatened to pierce some of his vital organs unless he would side with me in battle against the cruel penguin that had dug the wells that I had tripped over earlier in the day. I was hoping to garner some insight into what kind of felon or criminal could have done such a thing. Now, you probably think I cooked this whole story up, don't you? Well, aren't you glad it's over? Now, you need to tally up all the names that you heard, even the obscure ones. And let's see, how are we going to figure out the winner? Somebody call out a number that they think is really, really high.
70.
48.
83. Wait a minute. Who said 83? There aren't even 83 names in here. I've counted. Okay, nice try.
12.
Do you kids have documentation? Did you write all these names down?
Yes, sir.
53 over here documented. 60. Are you guessing or did you really count these?
12.
I need help. The insanity has spread beyond the stage. Who has legitimate 70 or more? Okay, we're gonna have to do this some other way. Okay, how many of you heard the name Wanda? Okay, can use that. How many heard the name Vichecker? You're kidding. How many heard the word Valerie? Okay, what was the sentence? What was the sentence? Quote it. Anybody can quote it?
Ooh, that's good.
I have said Valor, even. Okay, I think she wins it for that.
Yay! How many were there?
I think there were I think there was something like 75 or 80, but some of them are hard to count because of and drew his sword. That's kind of like 3 words. It's Drew and it's Andrew and I don't know. And dyslexic. Who got Lexi out of that? Okay, yeah. If I had read gourd under her arm, you wouldn't have gotten it, but I gave you a hint. Gourd under her arm. Gordon. And insects. Tons of them. Insects. Tons. Okay. Well, that was fun. I hope you enjoyed it.